Hello, Elaine. I think it's so wonderful to have you here. You are a
Thank
longtime
you.
friend and you do the most wonderful work. So I want you to tell me what you're up to now and how the World Autism Summit is a passion of yours too, and why you're here.
Karen, hi. It's always so wonderful to be with you. Your energy is unbelievable and just incredibly excited and honored to be part of this summit. What you're doing by bringing so many people together and globally is really exciting so that we can see what's working, what's not working, how we can all work together. And that's one thing I've always respected and honored and admired about you, Karen, is that you're all about collaboration.
Yeah.
So it's we're all part of one team, one planet, one world, one soul. And the matrix of the Autism Summit, by nature of being online, brings us together for a common cause.
It really does. It really does. How is your son doing?
Say it again.
How is your son doing?
Oh, my son Neil is doing beautifully. He's living in his own apartment with support. He just turned 30. I don't know how that happens.
I know.
30, 30, unbelievable. How can my father used to say to me, how could you be 50? I can't have a daughter that old. And that's what I think. That's what I think about my son now. I just like, how can he be 30? How can I be the, but he is, and I'm so proud of him. And but just thank you for asking.
Yeah, I want to talk to you also about the work that you're doing and what's exciting you these days and what's motivating and how you want to change the world.
Thank you. Well, summits like this are definitely changing the world. My mission in life is to bring out the best in myself and others and to create opportunity for neurodivergent and disabled individuals in media. And right this second, you're finding me in Stamford, Connecticut, which is the NBC Sports location of the broadcast of the Paris Paralympics. And believe it or not, 75% of the broadcast happens right here in this building. This year, for the first time, we have disabled hosts and commentators and analysts. We've had disabled analysts before, and it's the first time they've hired me as an access coordinator to really be a person to assist with messaging and language and understanding. At the meantime, I'm also seeing where NBC Universal have been leaders in accessibility. And so I'm here also to see how we can continue to, as you say, push the envelope and where we could find jobs for autistic and neurodivergent individuals, not only people with mobility conditions. So I'm really doing my best to open doors, as well as I worked on a film this past summer in the UK with which I've signed a big NDA, so I can't really talk about. But one of the things I'm very strongly committed to is authentic casting and authentic messaging for neurodivergent talent.
Oh,
And yeah, and so I'm called on quite often. I'm working more than I've pretty much ever worked in my life. But you said what excites me. It gives me such energy, getting up every morning and doing this work so that I'm able to assist in casting. I work in casting. I worked on a film called Ezra in casting last year and helped to market that. That was with directed by Tony Goldwyn and with Robert De Niro and Bobby Cannavale. Yeah, it was really phenomenal. And I was working and helped with casting and then also helped with marketing. And if you haven't seen the film Ezra, I think it'd be great to see. I don't know, I can introduce you to them, Karen, if you'd like, to see if they want to talk about it if for the summit.
Yes.
So, so I've been working a lot in TV and film in Hollywood and pretty much now all over the country and globally in authentic casting, authentic representation, authentic storytelling. I'm often given scripts that say we want a character who's autistic, and the character may be filled with tropes. And so I'll help them to really flush out the so the representation is authentic and meaningful and not just something we've heard a zillion times. So I've been doing quite a bit of that kind of work, and I mentioned before, like I mentioned again, is I identify as neurodivergent myself. And I love the umbrella of neurodivergence because it includes sensory processing and inability to remember and read faces. Our dear friend Stephen Shore diagnosed me a number of years ago, and I now self-identify. And it's really opened up so many doors for me as a human because I no longer feel the need to mask. And I can have just such a sense of calmness in my own being that I can be the same person that I am with my dear friends as I am in the outside world, because I don't have to fake it. The whole fake it till you make it. No, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Masking is exhausting. And a lot of my work, as you know, stemmed from the Miracle Project, which is a theater and film and social integration program with neurodivergent, neurotypical, disabled, non-disabled people together. We we create original musicals and storytelling and shared experiences with those who are neurodivergent, autistic, ADHD, Tourette's, anyone that isn't able to get into the room of a typical theater program.
What is that anyway? What is a typical data program?
But there's so many times that theater and film programs are not geared for the way that we learn and process. I mean, I went to college that was all independent study because I really couldn't sit in a room, in a university room with 500 people. It was just so overwhelming to me sensorially. At the time, I didn't know it was overwhelming to me sensorially because I was, I hadn't entered this world yet. And but now I look back and it was just a sensory overload, or as Stephen would say, sensory violation on every realm. There are too many people for me, too much noise, too much stimulus. Where do I put my eyes? I mean, I'm looking at somebody's hair that's in front of me, right? So I went to a college with only 300 people so that I could have independent study and really learn in the way that I love to learn, which is completely independently. And
a lot
so
more creative too, right?
a lot more
What I love
creative.
about you is your creativity and opening up job opportunities for people that are not the typical tech jobs that so many people focus on.
Right.
And there's so many different areas people can get jobs, in the creative world.
In the creative world. Yeah. Yeah. So many of my students, many of my students have become stars in TV series, Love on the Spectrum. I've been a consultant. I was a consultant and actually appeared in Love on the Spectrum. And I've, yeah, thank you. I remember getting that email. And so many opportunities are really occurring and coming from individuals. Like we're in the process of some of our shows in development to TV and film because we create and write original shows that are from the authentic voice of individuals who are and then there's the neurodiversity movement, really, that all brains are different and to accept our neurological differences and our neurodivergent brain. And some people call it, neurodiversity as a person, but a person cannot be neurodiverse because diversity is like biodiversity, the whole idea that, all creatures, everything is unique and different. And that's the whole idea of neurodiversity. It's a group. And so the neurodiversity movement is accepting all kinds of brains, all kinds of ways of processing. And those of us who are neurodivergent, we're that 15 to 20% that don't fall into that neurotypical way of being in the world. And because of the neurodiversity movement, we're seeing that all kinds of ways of being in the world are equally as well, are equal.
Yeah.
And as Temple Grandin had said, right, yeah, different, not less, right?
That's
So
right. And
I'm
she's got a new movie.
paraphrasing.
She's got a new movie coming out, an open door, and we're gonna have that at the conference. But I would
Oh,
like to talk
fabulous.
about Ezra. That would be great.
Yes,
Your
absolutely.
movies.
Yeah, so I can see if we can get I'll connect you with them. I don't know if do you edit this? Do you edit this? Or
We
is this all
can.
straightforward? Yeah, because offline, we can talk about that, and then I can connect you with the producers of that. But basically, Ezra is the story of a 11-year-old autistic kid who's very precocious and fabulous, and the navigation between his family and him with his mom and dad and his grandpa, brilliantly played by Robert De Niro, as they try to navigate the school system and what types of approaches to use with their child. So I won't tell you more than that, but it's a fabulous buddy film with a dad and his son. An incredible new autistic actor, and by the name of William Fitzgerald, who just takes over the screen. He is so charismatic, and I can definitely see about if we could do kind of a joint thing together.
Sounds so good. So
Yeah,
many
it's a
things to
wonderful
do.
film. Yes, wonderful, wonderful film.
And do you know
And
any comedians too? Because I was thinking of, like offering a platform for comedians as well.
yeah, let me see. You sent me
Yeah.
that email, and I know that the Miracle Project is part of a comedian performance that's coming up. So let me find out, because I think that would be awesome.
I do too. Because humor is so healing.
Humor is healing. If we don't laugh, we cry. And if we cry, that's good too, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. Seeing the world from a different perspective is always important.
Yes.
So
And what we're finding, there's a lot of people already in the media that are realizing that they too are autistic and neurodivergent. I mean, when I worked in a number of films where the sound person would come up to me after I give a presentation, because I always give kind of an intro presentation to different crews before I start working with them, and I'll after a while, some of the sound engineer or the wardrobe stylist or someone's like, after you gave that presentation, I realized I think I might be on the spectrum. And then we talk and share and yeah, so there's a lot of us out there.
Yeah, Stephen Shore and Temple and I were all sitting around talking, and I said, I think I'm be on the spectrum, but I'm not, way back in the day, right? Anyway, we always joke because one day it's going to be that we'll look around and there's nobody left that isn't on the spectrum.
Well, that's the idea. We're all, all of our brains are different.
My dad was an aeronautical engineer, and he designed a lot of the airplanes that we hear about, and so.
Oof, I have goosebumps.
Yes.
Right. That's like what Temple says, all those people in Silicon Valley have changed the world, right?
They did.
All of us geeks. And you're right. I'm not a tech geek at all, but I'm a creative geek.
Yeah.
And I'm an autism geek. I can talk autism.
Now the cows come home. Yeah, me too.
Exactly.
Autism
exactly.
today, it's like that's my STEM fest.
That's right.
Before that, it was gemology. So, and
There you
travel.
go.
Yeah.
Right.
But I love
right.
it. I love what I love, and I love doing this work. It's not work to me, it's play, and it's meeting new people every day. So, but tell me more about you, because I can talk about me.
And that too, Karen, what you do is everything you learn with your geekdom is you share with the world, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's and you're entrepreneurial. So that in itself, I think a lot of us that don't fit into the typical mold really do need to create our own way of being in the world, right?
Mhm. And a
Which
lot,
is what you've done.
oh,
Yeah.
a lot of kids on the spectrum, they don't know where to go get a job. So create your own, what do you love to do?
What do you love to do?
Motivates you, what drives you inside? And,
That's right.
so, and
That's
maybe,
exactly right. I mean, so many of our students, didn't have a voice before they came to the Miracle Project. And then through their experiences with the Miracle Project, they find their voice, they discover their passion, and then they begin to live their dream.
Mhm.
Sometimes it was a dream they didn't even dare to dream, right?
Right.
So then we're also at the Miracle Project now. We have a whole online classes. We have virtual classes
Nice.
and social interaction groups around the country through our virtual. So for your audience, that they can find us, themiracleproject.org, for all kinds of classes online. And we start the online classes from 7-year-old all the way up to 65. And people
Wow.
are finding like-minded friendships across the country, but it's we're getting the similar types of outcomes of developing a sense of joy and connection and a sense of finding your tribe that allows, even if they're in their community, maybe they're the only, in their school, they're the only autistic person, by becoming part of the Miracle Project class, social interaction class. It's called Improv for Interaction. And connecting with like-minded people, it impacts their day-to-day life everywhere that they are, because that sense of confidence and that sense of belonging, that there, it really eases that aloneness that so many of us feel.
Mhm. When it's
That
relatable to somebody else, you know,
yes,
it's so much more meaningful. I think
right.
people that go through challenges in life, whether it's depression or being overweight or smoking, whatever it is, and you find somebody else who's sharing that journey, then it makes, it's so much easier.
Oh, it's so much easier. It's like, oh yeah, you too, yeah. And also we have to think about it. There are smokers who are autistic and neurodivergent, there are people who are overweight. There are people. So when you find your own in a group like that, but then you still have that sense of isolation, right?
Mhm.
Because you found someone that you can share some of who you are and what you are, which is very healing.
Mhm.
And yet there's still that little speck of aloneness and feeling different. And so when you're around other people who share a similar neurology or way of being in the world, it elevates all of those experiences, because you can be autistic and have anxiety, you can be autistic and all of these things, alcoholic, and I mean there's so many things. And when we find our own tribe within another tribe, that really calms the neurological system.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to relate to other people.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the next thing for you? I mean,
You know,
you're taking on the world, but what's next? Maybe the moon. I mean, Stephen and I always talk about the moon.
now I see the moon, so thank you. Yes, now I see the moon is it's in development for a potential TV series. So we're in development right now. I'm actually going to meet with a director when I get back to LA. So you never know. And I think I was at an Autism Today conference in Canada. Were we in Canada or Ohio?
Ohio, Cleveland?
Yeah, we were all sitting around the table, and I was meeting people who at that time were just books I had read from Stephen Shore, from Dr. Barry Prezan, from Carol Gray. Uh, and here we are all, and I'm just kind of like, what am I doing here? Why am I here? Feeling very, very shy. And someone said, well, what are you doing? And I just popped up, well, and I'd finished Autism the Musical had just aired. So there was that excitement. It was like, what are you doing next? I was like, well, I'm tell me about yourself. And I just started telling them that, that I had been, I had adopted a boy, a toddler from an orphanage in Russia, and typical therapies didn't work for him. So being a creative music movement, drama type person, I used creativity to meet him where he was and joined his world. And through creativity, we emerged first into a liminal space of our own, and then, Neil became I became part of his world, and he started sharing my world with me. And from there I created the Miracle Project. And I just said, well, my barn burned down and my expectations, but now I can see the moon. And someone says, that would be a good book title. And I just popped up, oh, that's my book title. I hadn't even started writing it yet. I had the title, like somebody, oh, that would be a good book title. Like, ding, 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 ding. Oh, I just said, that's my book title.
That's
So,
great.
yeah. So my book title, and I guess my book was born at that table at Autism Today. So, and now, of course, Barry is one of my closest friends, and Stephen is my brother, and we've gotten to know each other and played and created together. So you just never know what these summits bring, right? And I know you're going to be having breakout sessions and all kinds of places for people to connect.
Panel discussions, and people can go talk to people on the other floors. They can meet people, so it's going to be really dynamic and exciting. That was
That's
the one
wonderful.
Robbie Dupree was at, right? We had Robbie Dupree and the guy from Orleans.
Probably, I think so.
Musicians in,
yeah. You did so many things, but that was an in-person one. We all had to fly to be there, but it was fun.
It was
Lots of good
fun.
Yeah. So I think what you're doing now really continues to bring us together in ways that are affordable, and we can still make those connections. And so many of us can make the connections.
And we can do so much more with it. But I mean, I miss the
Yeah.
trips. But I think we should figure that part out, do the trips for fun, and
Maybe every 3 years when we could have something where we all come together. That could be really, because there is something fabulous to be said. So what am I doing exciting about? So there's my book, Now I See the Moon. I'm also working with USC, University of Southern California, their dance department, and we're creating a whole dance and movement and autism program. My textbook that I co-wrote is called 7 Keys to Unlock Autism.
Oh, no.
And that's being used as a textbook at USC, so that's exciting. And when I get back from Atlanta, then I'll be working with the USC in this dance curriculum. What else is happening? Well, the Miracle Project, we have a show. It's the shows that you're going to be showing. Journey to Namu, which we created over pandemic, and every participant self-taped, and we created a movie musical that you would it looks like we were all in the same room together, and we were never in the same room together. So that's really an exciting. We're in the process of development for that, for a feature. And then a couple of other surprises. We have one of the first online classes for multimodality autistic communicators who type to communicate or use AAC to communicate. So we have a class called Express Yourself for that is a creative. We write material together. We develop lyrics to songs, and some of them most decide to be actors, and so we create music videos and films from the voices of those who use AAC. And all of this can be found on the Miracle Project website. For California listeners, all of our classes have been endorsed by California regional centers, which means there's no cost to those who are with regional centers. So that's a whole wonderful thing that we've been really excited. And NBC Universal, we received an NBC Universal grant this year, which we're very proud of. And that's going to be creating jobs, helping to create jobs. So yeah, and internships and jobs. And we're always, obviously got to do a plug. We're always looking for funding. So we're cutting edge. We were cutting edge when we started. We started in 2004, and we were cutting edge because I didn't know what I was doing. I just had an idea to create a theater program in this way, and fully inclusive, those with and without autism, those with and without disabilities, coming together to form what really I always like to say, I created the world that I want to live in, a world of acceptance, appreciation, love, compassion, creativity, joy, fun. And we have students who have come to us with the 17 years old who had never had a friend and never spoke up. And one of our actors, and it's okay for me to talk about him because he's given me permission.
Good.
And I'm just bragging, and I'm so proud of him. Hunter Trost, when he came to us in high school, he had one friend. He didn't talk very much at all. His mom had never really heard his opinions. And he started coming out of his shell so profoundly that he became leads in our shows.
Whoa.
And it really didn't have any goals, and now has gone to college, is now in grad school, has worked as a media consultant, an advocate for disability, and is going on to graduate school. So, and I was at his graduation party from college, and there were probably 65 to 70 people, and 20 of them would say they're his closest friends. So friendships, that means the world to me. Families who have been isolated and alone share holidays and birthdays and friendships. We have, as I mentioned, our virtual classes are creating opportunities for friendships across the country, and some of the people have met for the first time in our summer camp. They've come from different parts of the country. So that to me there's never a day at the Miracle Project that I'm not excited and thrilled, and I have an amazing team. I've trained numerous people now to do my methods, and we obviously, I'll take 1 or 2 locations a year and create the Miracle Project. So if any of your listeners would like a Miracle Project in their community, you can again go to themiracleproject.org and find me.
Yeah, okay, so that's how they get you, and that's how they can give you money.
Yeah, we're always looking for funders.
Yeah, funders, yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a good cause. It's a good passion of mine too. So I think what you're doing is wonderful. Keep it up.
Thank you.
If there's anything else that you want to mention or ask, or you're just doing wonderful work, and I love it.
Thank you.
I think you're wonderful. I'm so honored that you named your book at my conference.
That's great.
Yeah, that's good.
I had to get that title before someone else said, "Oh, that's a good title for a book." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's my book." Now I see the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, I gave one of my titles away, and I kind of wish I didn't, but I just wasn't a very generous mood. It was The Sandwich Kid, and I gave it to Carrie Bell.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Well, you've done chicken soup for the
autism books.
Yeah.
And the official Autism 101 manual that we got the gold medal in the IPI category for medicine. All the people in there are doctors. I'm not a doctor, but but it's kind of cool.
I just play one on TV. That's all, right? Well, yeah. All right. Well,
so yeah, we have some exciting announcements. So get back to me on the movies, and get that back to me on all that stuff real soon, because I need to. It's coming up really soon. It's October 17th. So.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. Always wonderful to speak with you, Karen.
Kisses and hugs, and you keep up the good work, Elaine.
Thank you so much.
Always wonderful to see you too. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.